Alright, welcome back to a programmer plays the master key, the Nonograms. Specifically, we're starting this time with Nonogram 17. If anyone needs a refresher on what Nonograms are basically big pictures where the game tells you some numbers and that lets you figure stuff out. So, for example, we've got vertically 0 here, so that means that we know that there's no filled-in grids here. And we can then use that to figure out other stuff. We can also see horizontally we've got a 0, so we can X all of these out and start doing some deductive reasoning. For example, this horizontal 8 can't be over here because we can't fit 8 squares in these 2 squares. So we know that that's not there. Same story here. And that only leaves 8 over here. So we know that this is completely filled in. Then we can go several steps further. For example, we are now looking at vertical 4 and 5. Well, we know that we can't fit 5 into these 3 spots, so we can X those out, and that means that these bottom 2 have to be part of that 5, and that only leaves room for 4 up here. Got bing, bada boom. So, it is now just a matter of us like stepping through the whole dang thing and figuring it out. So, horizontal 6 can't be here. This gives us a right edge, so we know that this has to be at least to here. That is actually great because that tells us these vertical 4s up here. This is actually a bunch of vertical 4s, so X that out. Boom. Whole bunch of 4s. We've also got this 8, 2. There's only one way that the 2 fits in there. It's like that. And that then gives us this vertical 1. That's the only one in there, so we can X all of this out. And we've got this vertical 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that lets us X all of this out. We can't fit a 4 or a 2 in here, so this vertical 4 or horizontal 4 and horizontal 2 can't be here. Horizontal 4 would have to have these spots filled in. Looking at our vertical rules, we've got a vertical 2, so that means that there can't be anything right here. We've got a vertical 3, so this one has to be filled in here, which then means our horizontal 2 we know has to be like that. Vertical 3 has to fill in like that. Okay, looking vertically 4, 2, 2, 2. We've got our 4. This is a 2, so it has to be blocked in like that. And we know that we have to fit the other 2 here and the other 2 here. That then gives us our 2 horizontal 4s right here. We've got a horizontal 2, so that has to be like that. Looking vertically, we've got a vertical 4, so we've got to fill that in. And the other 4 has to at least be there. We've got a horizontal 8. Has to completely fill in like that. We've got some vertical 4, 2, 2s, so that's gonna have to work out like that for those. We've got a vertical 4, has to be like that. A vertical 5, so it has to work out like that. We've got another vertical 4, which only can fit there. A vertical 4, which would at least have to cover these. This is already 6 wide, so we can put that in. Means that this has to be filled in, and this has to be filled in. There we go. Are you a squid? What are you? A mailbox. Man, sometimes when the pixel art's up close to your face, I cannot figure out what it is. So there we go. Nonogram 17. Done. On to Nonogram 18. Okay, so we've got 12 tall. And we've got a couple of 10s here, so we can go ahead and blank in these 8 because we can't, like, those have to be filled in. The highest arrangement and the lowest arrangement will always cover up that part. That's great having that left edge in there because that means that we can fill in a bunch of these horizontals. So horizontal 5, horizontal 3, horizontal 5, and 3, and horizontal 5, and 3, and horizontal 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Horizontal 9. And this has also got a horizontal 1, so we know that that's completely filled in right there. Given that this vertical is 3, we know that it can't be filled in anywhere over there. Great. Alright, we've got a vertical 110. And since this is 12 tall, that means that has to be like that. We've also got a vertical 4 here, so that has to be filled in like that. This has to be filled in like that. This has got a vertical 110, so same story. We've got that all filled in. This has got a horizontal 1, so that has to not have anything there. Same story there, same story there. We've then got a 3, which means that this has to be filled in. A horizontal 4, only 4 spots left, so that has to be like that. We've got this horizontal 5. It wouldn't be able to reach over to here. That gives us some answers about that. We've got this vertical 3. Vertical 3 couldn't reach up to here. Vertically, we've got 7 and 4 here, which completely fills it up when you include the space. So that has to be like that. Looking at our horizontal 1, we've got 1 on here, so that means that this can't be filled in any. Horizontal 5 has to be continuous, so that fills in that space. That does mean that we know where these 10s are, and that gives us a leftmost edge for our 9s. So we can go ahead and fill them in. Which does mean that we now know where the rest of this 3 is. This is a horizontal 2, so that has to be filled in. Horizontal 3, bam. The boots. That one was good. Kind of easy. So, Nonogram 18, check. On a Nonogram 19. Okay, so we are 11 tall. Wide. So this 12 here has to be like that. Horizontal 10 has to be like that. There's 4 pixels of wiggle room on either side of these 10s, but we can still get a decent chunk in there. Similarly, this 8, we know that these 2 have to be filled in for the 8, horizontally. No, we don't. Scratch that. You know that this... No, yeah, we do. We do. Brain's starting to melt. Alright, so... Given that we know that horizontal 8 has to be there, we now know that these 2 have to be filled in because we've got the continuous 8 up here. Also know that these two have to be filled in. It's the lowest arrangement that we could have for these 8s would go to there. Could do something similar for these 9s, actually. Really having to work from the middle out on this one, which is interesting. Okay, so looking at this vertical 2, 4, 2, we know that these 3 have to be part of the 4. And so in order to have a 2 after that, we know that we have to put that there, which now gives us our 4. Also, we also know that the 2 has to be there, which, looking at the horizontal, we know that that has to be blocked off. Also, before I forget, we've got this horizontal 1, 2, 4, 2, 1, so that has to be like that. Also, there's only one way that that fits in the whole thing, so we can just go ahead and fill that line in. Going a step further, because this is X'd out, we know vertically that we can't fit the 9 above it, so we can go ahead and X that out, which means that the 9 has to at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 has to fill the rest of this. Means that the 6 can't possibly reach over to these, which is good. We know that we've got this vertical 1, 7. The lowest arrangement of the 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, would come up to here. So we know that this spot has to be filled in. And the highest arrangement, 1 space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We know that that has to be there. There's a little bit of wiggle room, but that locks us in. Looking horizontally, we've got this 2, 4, 2. We've got 3 in a row here, so this has to be the 4. That has to be blocked off, which means that this has to be our 2. Looking vertically, we know that we can't fit a 2 here, so we can block that off. And looking vertically, we know that this has to be filled in for our vertical 2, 4, and there's no way to fit 4 below here, so that means this has to be filled in, which gives us the entire 4, which then means that this has to be our 2. Gunski. Does that help us with our 10? Not necessarily. Or 12. Again, not necessarily. Alright, there's no way that this one has to be part of our 7. And if the 7 started at the very bottom, would come to here, which would then be an 8. So we know that this has to be filled in, and it can't reach down to here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we know that this couldn't be the 1. The 1 has to be there. Lets us fill in a fair bit more about the 7. The 7 would go a pixel up or down, but we don't know. Looking at this horizontal 2, we can blank that in. We know that these can't be filled in because of our horizontal 6. Gives us a lower edge for our 2 there. And our 9. Wait, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, yeah. Come on, brain. Means that we now know our lower edge for our 8s. Alright, looking horizontally, we've got 1, 2, 2, 1, which this is in the middle, so this has to be a 2. There's not room for another 2 and a 1, so this has to be one of the 1s. Oh, and vertically, we know that this has only 1 pixel in it, so X all that out. That's nice. That does actually probably give us some answers over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did I know that? Yeah. So the way that I just filled these in was wrong, but we can actually do a little bit of deducing here. We've got a vertical 2 and a 4. There's no way for the 4 to be lower than that, so that has to be filled in. We can't fit the rest of the 4 there, so we have to make that the 4. Which then tells us that this has to be part of the 2. I hit the wrong button there. That means that there's an X here that gives us the rest of our 8. Means that we've got our 7 completed here. That corroborates that. We've got this vertical 4, so this has to go here. Now it's a 2, so that has to go there. Vertically, we've got this 1, so we've already got a pixel on here. That blocks that in. Right. We've got a horizontal 1, 8, 1, so that has to be filled in, and this has to be filled in. Beautiful. You can't tell yet whether that's part of the 2 or if that's the 1, and there's a whole separate 2 here. Over here, though, we know that that vertical 7's complete. We can look at our horizontal 1, 2, 2, 1 and see that this has to be part of the 2. Closes that off. Right. And we can close this off because we know that that's a 1 horizontally and also that's a 2 vertically. This is horizontal 1, 1, 1, 1, so this can't be anything there, which means that the only place that a 1 could still be here for the vertical 1, 7 is there. We know that there's nothing else in this column. We know that this has to be here, and this has to be here. Now means that we know that that's our 2. Means that we know that this has to be our 2. Nice, we get our axolotl face. Christmas. Alright. We are 14 wide and 14 tall. Nice. So we've got a 14 here horizontally, so we can go ahead and fill this in. And we've got a 9 and a 3, which does not. Okay, hold on. This 12 across the bottom, which could go 2 pixels to the left or right, but that's great because that gives us a lot of these vertical ones. And also we've got vertical ones here. We've got nothing but vertical ones here, so we can go ahead and X on either side of this. Same story here and here. We know that can't have anything on it. Doesn't super help us, but you know, getting somewhere. The highest arrangement of this 9-3 that I got overeager with would be down to here, X, 1, 2, 3. The lowest arrangement would be 1, 2, 3, X, and then here and up. So we know that most of these pixels are filled in. But this one, and this one, this one, and this one are ambiguous. Same exact story over here. But this is good. We can look at this one horizontally and this one horizontally here, and we know that those are going to be blanked out. 4, 4, 4. That can only fit in one way. There's just only enough spots for that, which does give us our 3s here, which means that we now know what our 9s are. And looking horizontally, we've got these columns of 1s. So we know that there's nothing here. Also, we could infer from this. We could have figured that out several ways, actually. There we go. Alright, let's take a gander at these 7s. I'm feeling these 7s. Actually, hold on. Before we do that, we know from this vertical 1, 1, 1 that this has to be like this. And same story over here. And we've got this vertical 1, 2, 1. Well, we've got the one here, we've got one here, so this has to be our 2. Same story right here. Which gives us that row completed. Know that there can be nothing here, or here, or here, or here. Beautiful. Well, there couldn't be anything here, because then it would be a 2. Which means that all this has to be filled in order to complete the 7. Nice. Oh, it's the treasure chest. Nonogram 20 was surprisingly easy. What is happening with my controls right now? On to Nonogram 21. Ooh, it's nice and small. Only 8 wide and 8 tall. The 7 only has 1 pixel of wiggle room. And this 5 only has 3 pixels of wiggle room. But we've got a 5, 1 here. Which actually tells us a fair bit. Horizontally, we know that that's a 1. We've got a vertical 2 here, so that gives us that filled in, which does tell us that our horizontal 4 here has to be like that. There is no longer room to have 3 and 1 in here, so vertically that has to be our 3. And does horizontal 1s and only one way for this column to still work. 1, 1, space 1. We've got a 1 and a 6. There's only... This honestly should have been where I started. That completely fills up that row. That X's that out for us. This has to be a 1 here. It does raise our limit there. So we know that the 5 comes to at least that point. This horizontally says it's a 1. I'll narrow that down for us, but nice to see. Vertically, we've got a 5 and a 1. So in order to fit the 1, we have to put that there, which means that our 5 has to be like that. Don't know which 2 we've got here. Couldn't fit a 2 here and then this 1, so this has to be our 2 over here. We can't fit anything there. Vertically, we know that this is a 2, so this has to X out like that. That has to be our 7. Great. This is vertically only 1s, so we know that nothing's going to go there. Horizontally, we've got a 2 here, so we know that nothing's going to go there. The vertical 3 is already completed, so we can X this out, which means that we know that that's our 2. Have to put a 1 here. 5 has to go here. This is a 1, so those have to be X'd out. Still need a 1 here. Nice. Wrong. Alright. Let's continue on with Nonogram 22. 14 wide and 14 tall. So we'll start with our 14 here. We'll also go ahead and fill in these 12s in as much as we can. Guessing that low 12 there is actually going to be a huge help for us. Alright, we've got a vertical 11. Means that these have to be filled in. Vertical 9 would have to fill these in. Right? Yeah. Highest arrangement of 9 would come down to here. Lowest arrangement of 9 would come up to here. This horizontal 4 we know would have to come out to at least here. Which lets us look at this and go, okay, that vertical 4, 6 is gonna have to work out like that. There's no way that that didn't work out like that. Also got this 5 over here. Let me see. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know that the 5 can't reach up to here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know that it can't reach down to here. That doesn't really help us that much, but you know, something. Looking at our horizontal 3 though, that lets us fill that in. And we've got a 5 and a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know that the 5 has to at least cover these 3 spaces. There's 2 pixels of wiggle room there. Does that help us at all vertically? Oh, we've got this vertical 3. That would have to come up to at least there. And given that we've got 3 chunks in our column, we know that this has to be the 1 in that 1, 3, 1. We know that the rest, the 3s couldn't reach up to here. That's something. Similarly, in this 1, 6, 2, there's no way to fit a 2 in here. So this has to be our 2 right there. Means this has to be, I'm sorry, I had a brain fart. 1, 6, 2. So the 2 could be anywhere in here. This has to be part of the 6 though. I think I can definitively say that this has to not have anything in it. Yeah, pretty much, but I'm gonna hold off on that. The 8 and the 3, this also has to be filled in because of the vertical 8-3. Let's look at this vertical 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know that there's nothing here. Similarly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we know that there's nothing there. Doesn't super help us, but narrows it down a little bit. With the 9, we've done this 9 bit before, where we know that 9 has to be filled in at least there. Which does, actually, that lets us mark that out. We know that that's our 12 right there. It means that we know that this can't be there, and gives us more of our 5. That is good news, because that's a right edge for the 3 here. And the 3 here. We've got a horizontal 3 that has to at least get to there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we know that this can't have anything there. Looking at our vertical 4, 6, this can't be filled in because then it wouldn't be a 4 or a 6, it'd be a 7, so that has to be blank. Which gives us a lower edge for our 4, and upper edge for our 6. Great. So this has to be our 1 there for that. Also, horizontal 2, there we go. Which means that we know that this isn't here. Horizontal 5 has to be like that. Vertical 3, 2, 2. So that's a 2. That's a 3. So can't be anything here. The 2 might be on either side of here. We've got less wiggle room now for the 12. So the 12 has to fit in here. There's only 1 pixel wiggle room. That means that we've got, for our vertical 9, we've got a continuous spacing there. Also, looking at our verticals, vertical 5 can't fit in there. So, only got 12 pixels left for that one. So that is now filled in. Vertical 11 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the 11 comes up to at least here. Don't actually know the part that I was just trying to read to. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We've already got our 9 filled in here, which is good news actually, because that gives us a left edge for this 3. Beautiful. There's not room to fit a 1 and a 2 here, so this has to be our 2, which means that this has to be our 3. And this has to be our 1. That means that our 3 here has to be like that. Our vertical 3 has to be this bottom one here. We've also got a limit now on our 11. Beautiful. our 5 has to come down to at least here. Corroborates our 2 horizontal 4s there. Got a horizontal 4 here that we've already got completed. Beautiful. Horizontal 4 here has to fit in like that. Got a vertical 6 that we've already completed. This has to be part of our 8, so 5, 6, 7, 8. So these 2 couldn't be part of it. And really, actually, we know that the 3 has to be there, so we can go ahead and fill that in. That actually does tell us some stuff here. Horizontal 3, 1, 4. 4 has to be like that. The 1 had to be like that. Horizontal 1, that blocks that out. We've got this vertical 1, 9, 2. That has to be part of the 9. That gives us that 3 completed. Doesn't really narrow anything down for us there. Horizontal 4, 1, 3. We've got the 4. These 2 can't be filled in. It wouldn't work. That means this has to be the 1 here. Means there can't be anything there. This has to be part of the 3. Oh, and we can cross-ref, actually, looking at that. That's our 9 right there, vertically. So, X this out. And looking down here, we can see that's our horizontal 4. Corroborates our vertical 2s. 5, 6, 7, 8. Possibly a pixel wiggle room. No, there's no pixel wiggle room. That has to be like that. This has to be there to complete our vertical 5, which means that that's our 4. Fairly certain that this is filled in. No. This has to be filled in, which means that this can't be. So this has to be. That can't be filled in there. That has to be a 1 vertically. A 3, which means that this 5 has to be filled in like that. Beautiful. This is done. That has to be like that. This and everything there, which means that we have to have those 2 there. Boom. Pumpkin. Nonogram 22 in the books. Nonogram 23. It is 9 wide and 15 tall, so we've got a 9 here. Go ahead and fill this in. That tells us that this 2 over here has to be like this, and this 3 has to be somewhere in here. Only a 2 over here. This is inputs left and right. Great. Love to see it. We can actually cross-ref off of that. This 3 can't fit here horizontally, so that can't be there, and there has to be a pixel over here. Got a 7. There's a few pixels of wiggle room there, but because of that, we now know that we've completed this column, this 2, and because of that, we can look at the horizontal 2 here and know that that has to be filled in. Completes this column. That takes away a pixel of wiggle room on our 7 over here. And we can use that to narrow this down. Because of all of that, we know from the fact that this is a 2 column that these are all not. We know from this horizontal 3 that this has to be filled in, and looking vertically, we've got 9 4s, which means that those have to be filled in. There's a pixel of wiggle room on those 9s, so they have to be like that. I'm betting. Okay, so there's a couple ways that this could go down. I'm pretty sure I know how this is shaped, but I'm trying to like get there without any weirdness. Alright, so we know that the 2 can't fit there, which means that the vertical 4 has to be here, which means that these 3s are complete. So this 2 has to fit into that. That completes our 3. We've got this vertical 2, which is already complete. We can close that off. Means that we've got all these 3s here that we can fill in. This has to be filled in like that, which means that we know that that can't be there, which means that we know that this has to be there. That closes this off. This can't have anything there. It has to be 1 1, which means that the last one has to be here. Sword icon. Alright, on to Nonogram 24. Alright, we are 15 wide and 12 tall. 12 tall is good because it means that. Oh, it's refusing to do it because it knows that I'm doing a dumb thing. There has to be 2 and then 9. For some reason, my mush brain over here is going, oh, you know, it's 9 and then 2. No, it's not. Come on, idiot. Alright, so because we've got that column nicely filled in, gotta head out. Later, man. Appreciate you hanging out. Because of that being filled in, we know that this has to be the 1 for this one. And because of the horizontal 3, we know we can't put that in there. Horizontal 3 has to fill this one in. Horizontal 3 has to fill this one in. And then these ones all require that. Good stuff. Vertical 4 requires these be filled in, which now means that horizontal 2, that has to be that one. Closes these off. And mark these as good. Got a vertical 3 and a 2, so we can finish that out. Our vertical 9 has to be there. There's 3 pixels of wiggle room on there. That's a great column to fill in there because that gives us a left edge for all these horizontal values. So that's a 2, that's a 3, 1, a 1, and a 1. And that gives us a lower edge for this vertical 4. Because of that vertical 4 blocking this out, we know that the horizontal 10 can't be over here, and the horizontal 6 can't be over here. That limits us down in terms of where this 9 can be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Sounds good. We've also got this horizontal 3, so that we know that this one has to be filled in, which then lets us look at our vertical 3 and say, okay, that has to be like that, and the vertical 2 has to be like that. Alright. The 6 here, this horizontal 6. 6. So our 6 only has 2 pixels of wiggle room here, and it gives us a top edge for all of these 2s. Meanwhile, our horizontal 10, like, there's no ambiguity about that at all. Like, that completely fills that in. Great. Horizontal 3 couldn't reach to here, which means that we've got a vertical 2 filled in, and we can see this is a vertical 2 that we can fill in. Great. Horizontal 1, 2, 2, 1. We've got a 1, we've got a pixel, blank space, another pixel, and a 1. So we know that this has to be our 2, this has to be our 2, and then the rest of this has nothing in it. Good stuff. 1, 8, 1. We know that that has to be like that. 1, 1. We've got this row already filled completely out. Good stuff. Alright, so 3, 6, 3. There's 6 spots here. So those have to be like that. Great stuff. Looking at our vertical columns, we've got this 2, 3, 1, 2. This has to be the 3. Which means that has to be the 1, which means that we have to have a 2 here. These horizontal 1s, so that has to be like that. Got a vertical 2, yes. 1, 1, 2. This has to be the 2, this has to be a 1, and there has to be a 1 here. Also, that gives us a left edge for the 3. No, for the 6. Come on, brain. These have to be the 1s in these verticals. This has to be the first 2, and then the 3, 1, and then there's a 2 here. We've got a 2, and then a 1, and then a 2, so we've already got the 2, means that this has to be a 1 here, which corroborates our horizontal 2s over here. We've already got a 2 here as well. So these bottom pixels have to be our vertical 2s, which corroborates our horizontal 1. You know, there's nothing in here because we completed these columns. This column. Haven't completed this one. That has to be there. This can't be here. It has to be here. Cool. Free stump. Alright, one more. Alright, 13 wide and 14 tall. Ooh, no easy rows for us. No gimmies. I don't think. Yeah, no gimmies. 7 and 2, 9, plus 1 is 10. That gives us 4, 4 pixels. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 14 wide and 14 tall. 4 pixels of wiggle room. Not ideal. We can figure this out. 1, 2, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We know that those 3 have to be filled in for the 7, because the 7, the leftmost arrangement would be over here, the rightmost arrangement would be over there. Same story right here, 7 and 2. There's no arrangement of that where the 7's not just over that. Similarly for this 6, 2, 1, 2, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 always overlaps that. Run this 1 space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Space 1. 7's always gonna overlap these 2 spots. Which is something. It doesn't super help us, but you know, it's something. The good news is that gives us some blanks that we can blank out. So if this were a 4, 2, 3, 4, so it couldn't reach down to here, and the 2 couldn't reach up to there. If this were a 6 and a 3, we know that these are separate 6 and 3s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 3 couldn't reach up to there. That is the no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we don't know anything about that one, but we know that it couldn't reach down to here. All right. Where next? Three, 1, 2, 3, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, space, 1, 2. So the 2 is definitely going to be overlapping that. 1, 2, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, space, 1, 2, 3. That gives us something. There's a little bit of wiggle room here. There's 1 pixel of wiggle room on this 362. We double check that. 4 plus 6 is 10, plus 1 is 11, plus 2 is 13. Yeah. There's 1 pixel of wiggle room. But that's really good because that gives us a little bit more confirmation about where some of this stuff lies. The 4 there, like the farthest left that it could go has to be over to here, and the farthest right that it could go has to be over to here. Similarly with the 6, farthest left arrangement fills all of those in. If it goes right, fill that in. 2 doesn't help us. 3, we can go ahead and fill that in though. Ooh. 2 doesn't help us, blah blah blah. This 5 does help us though. Leftmost arrangement of that 5 goes to there. And, alright, so now we can start really extrapolating. So we've got this 2 and 4. We know that that's our 2, and we know that the 4 couldn't come down this far. We've got a 2 up here. We've got a couple of 3s. We know that this 3 comes at least up to here, which is good because that means that we can fill this in. We know that our 7 now goes to at least there. We also, looking at this vertical 3, 3, know that the 3's can't reach into this space. That gives us a right edge for this 3. Bam. That's that 3 defined. That also gives us, we know that the 2 would have to be here, I think, because 1, 2, 3, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space, space, 1, 2, or 1, 2. But yeah, that's definitely filled in. That is actually huge because that gives us the definition of where our 6 is. We can't complete this column. The 2 could still wiggle, but that gives us something. Let's revisit this 5 though. 1, 2, 3, space, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this 5 could exist anywhere in there. This 3 has to be within there. There's only 1 pixel wiggle room now for that 5. Looking at this vertical chunk, we've got a 6. 6 has to come down to at least here. Look at our horizontal. We've got a horizontal 2. Bam. We know that that 2 has to fit there. We've got this horizontal 7 that can't go beyond here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That gives us a good bit more information there. Okay. Back to basics. Up here at the top left, we see this horizontal 2. Bam, we know that that's there, which then lets us look at our vertical 2. We know that that is there, which now gives us a left edge for our 6. Boom. And we've got our 4 taken care of. Our 5 has to fill this spot. Yes. 7 can't fit there. Has to come at least to here, which actually, does that completely lock in our 7? No. But I think it does mean that our 2 here has to be at least here. Yeah. Still a pixel wiggle room, but we're narrowing in quickly. Okay. Looking vertically, we know that our 4 can't be here. It has to be there. So that's column locked in. That's good news. Does that help us here? No. Or yes, it does. Okay, vertically, 3, 2, 2. That's our 3 right there. Which actually helps us a lot here because we know that we can't fit the 5 there. The 5 has to be coming to at least this far. Alright, so we've got the 2 and the 3. We've got 2 here and another one down there, so this has to be our 2. We can block that off. Now the 3 might come as far down as these 2 or as high up as these 2. We don't know yet. But with that in place, that's really narrowing in on what we could do. Looking vertically, we've got a 2, 4, 1. We can't, the 2 has to be these 2. This has to be the 4. Can't figure out where the 1 is, but that definitely narrows it down for us. Similarly, we've got this 3, 4, 2. Can't fill both of these in because then it wouldn't be a 3. So the 3 can only fit in that way, which then gives us an upper edge for our 4, and our 2 couldn't reach down to here. We also know that looking at our horizontal 2, 4, couldn't reach over to here. You know, that has to reach over to here. That's great because that gives us an upper edge for our vertical 3, 3, 1. There's that 3 locked in. Horizontal 6, 2. There's 2 there, so bam. Locks that in. Vertical 2, 1, 4, 2. Well, we've got our 2, and we've got our 1. That locks into 5 there. Doesn't really help us beyond that, though. But, okay, here we go. Horizontal 2, 2, 2. We've got a 2 there in the middle. We know that this has to be the other 2. That first 2 has to be there. Go, go, go! What's up, Lax? That locks that off. Great. Which means that vertically we just locked in a 2. This has to be the 1 there. Means that that's completed the 5. We've also completed our 2. Means that this has to be the 4. The top edge of the 4 or the bottom, we don't know. We can block that off. This has to be our 3. But we can't really extrapolate further than that. 2, 2, 3 horizontally. Can't fit a 3 right here. Yeah. Can't fit a 3 here either. Man, I am losing my voice so quickly. Okay, here we go. We know that that's gotta be our 7. And we know that this has to be our 2, which gives us a top edge for this 2. Beautiful. That gives us a right edge for our 3. Doesn't help us there. Okay, we've locked in our vertical 2, and now we need a vertical 5. So these have to be part of the same chunk. And we know that the 5 can't go any lower than that. Or higher than that, which means we've now got a left edge for this 2, this 2, or this 2 and this 2. Come on, brain, keep up. We've got a vertical 2, 3, 3, so this has to be the 3 there. So that means we now know the 2, which means that we now know that's our 5. Beautiful. Can't fit a 7 right here. Means that our vertical 3 has to be like that. Vertical 3 has to be like that. Horizontal 3 has to be there, which means this can't be filled in. Means that our 7 has to be like that. And our horizontal 5 has to be like that. Can't fit a vertical 2 right here, so this has to be our vertical 2. So the other 2 has to be right there. Horizontally we need a 2, so bam. And horizontally we need a 3, bam. Vertically we need a 6, there we go. We know that our 3 can't reach to there. Vertical 2, 3. The 3 couldn't reach to there. Horizontal 2, 1, 3. Well, there's 1 and 3 spots left open, so those have to be like that. Vertical 1, 2, 4. We've got our 1, we've got our 2, so this has to be the remaining spot for our 4. Vertical 2, 1, 4, 2. We've got our 2, we've got our 1. The 4 has to be filled in like that. We need block that off because that's our 3. Nice. couldn't put a block here because this is a vertical 3, 3, 1. So that's our 3. Oh, that's our 1. Because our 2 has to be going in there. Vertical 2, 4, 1. That has to be like that. Horizontal 2, 3, that has to be our 3 there, which then blocks that off. This has to be our 7. That blocks that off. You need a vertical 2 and a horizontal 2, so that has to be there. Requires 1s. One last one. It is twigs, I think. That last one took me longer than I expected. That was a tricky one. The ones where there's not like solid lines running vertically, when it's a lot of diagonals and stuff, those are harder. So there we go. Another recording of the nonograms in the books. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.